Hello. Stephanie Zima here, transformation coach with Walk It Free, where we heal, connect, and level up. This week, we're going to be talking about procrastination and procrastination triggers. And in my coaching community, which I have two, by the way, one for people that are just wanting to work on their life, and one for entrepreneurs that are wanting to work on their life and their business. Okay, so you could do both, as a matter of fact. You can start with your personal development for your life and your health and your wellness and all those things. And then you can do the second part of it and get into the business coaching as well, because we are mirroring the topics. This week, this month, we're going to be talking about procrastination and overcoming procrastination, right? I'm all about helping people overcome and get out of these rotten, stuck positions that we are in and that we are finding ourselves with. And so this week is all about procrastination. And I'm going to start with just talking about the procrastination triggers. I've got like 10 minutes before the coaching starts. So, I want to quickly talk about those procrastination triggers. Lack of clarity is the first one, right? Most people are walking around not clear about their visions, not clear about their goals. And when I talk about visions, it's like, what do you want your life to look like? What do you want to feel like on the end of your life? I remember when I first started being on a personal development journey, my coach asked, what do you think people are going to say at your funeral? And I bawled my eyes out. I had to cry so long, because when you really think about this and reflect on your life and you reflect on where you are in this moment, you start realizing that, I don't really know who would show up for my funeral. And honestly, at this point, even sometimes you still think like, I don't know how many people would really want to. Have I impacted enough people in my life? And I have to tell you, my answer is no. My answer is no. I have not impacted enough people. I have, and this alone, this awareness alone, right? Whether or not it is my children or my family or friends, or if it's my business, it doesn't matter what it is. It's the fact that I need to make more impact. I need to help more people. I need to do things more things for people. It's something that is really near and dear to my heart, and that drives my motivation. That drives me showing up every single day. That drives me making these videos and talking to you. That drives me doing what I'm doing, okay? You have to find that mission, vision, and value, and why you're wanting to do that. You have to find that, okay? Fear of failure is another trigger that holds people back, yeah? You don't start because you're afraid you're going to fail. And it's true. It's very scary. It is very scary to embark on a journey in life, whether or not, again, it's life or business, it's all the same. You don't know what's going to come out. You don't know if the person next door is going to like you. You don't know if the person that you're meeting at the grocery store and having a friendly word with is someone that, likes you or thinks you're weird for like talking to them, right? I mean, there's like, you have to take this chance. But the way how I think about it is, it's better for me to take a chance and fail and fall forward than for me to never have experienced what it would feel like genuinely being happy and outgoing and stuff. And yes, I hear you, okay? You're going to be like, yeah, it's easy for you. You are the outgoing type of personality. And I'm going to let you in on a little secret. I am an introvert. I like being alone. I need being alone. I love people too, but I recharge in privacy. I recharge alone. I like not to be touched, right? Yes, and you think it's crazy. I have all these animals and sometimes they're on top of me. I have to make sure I set boundaries all the time to recharge and to have this balance. So no, I am not somebody that is naturally outgoing. I have learned how to be outgoing because I used it for many years as a trauma response, as a matter of fact. Growing up, I have been somebody that needed to hold people at a distance by being big, right? Big energy. And like, that is my trauma response. And it's very exhausting. It's very exhausting when you know these things, when you have learned this about you, you learn where your strengths are, where your weaknesses are, where you feel comfortable, where you don't feel comfortable, where you like, and I can tell on animals how big my energy is and how frightening it can be, because when I get loud, when I get stressed, when I get over, everyone hides. Everyone goes and hides, right? And then, of course, that triggers my shame because I want to have the exact opposite, all right? I want to do the exact opposite. So how do you fix this, right? I mean, I can decide like, oh, I'm never gonna do anything and I'm gonna fail anyway, or I can learn how to process this and how to work through this, and how to make sure that my energy is under control, make sure I'm gonna just take one little step, be clear about what am I afraid of, what am I good at, what am I not good at, what do I need to learn, what do I need to, like all of these pieces. Their purpose is to be able to control the outcome, okay? And when the fear of failure is always the fear of like, you don't know what's happening. You don't know, you're going to be paralyzed. You have the fight, flight, and freeze responses, right? So my fear of failure would be the fight. I fight. I'm out there, right? And sometimes I freeze, and sometimes I run. Like I'm somehow I'm the rainbow of everything. I have learned how to be a chameleon and adjust. It's my trauma response from growing up in traumatic situations at times. So, long story short, that is one of the things that you need to get clear on, right? You need to overcome the fear, and you need to learn why you should overcome the fear, because when you overcome the fear, there's a lot of beauty that comes on the other side of it, right? And that's worth it. Another trigger would be perfectionism. Perfectionism is just the fear of not being good enough, right? And when you realize there's no such thing as perfect, really, there's no such thing. What I think is great, you think is not great. What they think is awesome, these people over here are not thinking it's so great, right? We are all different, and perfectionism can be dealt with in becoming authentically you. Dismantling the paradigms, dismantling the belief system that you have for yourself, and then replacing it with something that you know is going to be you. Something you think is perfect, something you think is doable, something you think is worth achieving. That is when you start moving out of procrastination and into action, and you're gonna overcome that perfectionism situation. Okay, you have to heal that part of you. Overwhelm is clearly a procrastination trigger. I mean, come on, like any mother knows, right? When the toys are everywhere and everywhere is something, and clothes, and I mean, who can focus? Nobody can focus on that. And I'll tell you, when my kids were younger, that was the biggest issue. And then the last couple of years, I spent a lot of energy on helping them figure out how to be more organized, how to be more disciplined, how to do the routines. And yes, all my neighbors hear me yelling sometimes. It's because I'm just human too, right? I mean, we are in this struggle, and you need to release the expectation that you need to be perfect, yes, and that life is always great. It's not. It's struggle at times, but what matters is how you move through the struggle, how you move through it, and how to get to the other side. Okay, if you keep lying to yourself thinking that everything is always going to be amazing, then you're going to be stuck there. Don't be stuck there. You want to be fluent. You want to be like water. You want to move through it. And yes, sometimes you have frustrations. My frustration always shows up in yelling. If I'm tired and I'm frustrated and I'm overwhelmed and I'm exhausted, I yell. It's just a trauma response. Again, it's not great. I'm not proud of it, but it is what it is, So what can I do? Kick that overwhelm in the rear. Make sure your environment is okay. Make sure your environment is suitable for you to actually be doing things. And there you go. There you have it. Okay, I gotta hurry up. My training is about to start. So, lack of motivation, another one, right? Yeah, I mean, it's all kind of playing together. If you were imagine you're laying there and it's your house is a mess and everything is a mess and you don't have friends and business is not going good and you're just why should I even start? Okay, why should I start? It's like nothing is going to go anywhere. You have no belief. It's because you need to make sure that you find the belief, and it's coming from your heart. You know, what purpose do you have? Like for me, it was the hope. It was hope in the beginning. It was like it's all started with hope. It was hope for me to be a better mom than my mom was. You know, please, God rest her soul. She meant well, but she didn't show up great all the time. It's just what it is, you know. And no, I don't show up great. We mothers, we make mistakes. There's no blame here. This is not, she tried her very best. Now, the real movement, Walk It Free, came through realizing that she had cancer, and the cancer came from having resentment and feeling really stuck and feeling like scared to make a move and scared to change, to grow. And, you know, all that hurt, all that hardship, all that rejection, and like friends were rejecting, and like all of that ate away in her, honestly. And I didn't want this. I don't want this for me. I don't want this for my children. I don't want this for my daughters. I don't want that for you. I don't want that for anybody. So I started Walk It Free, the movement that is going to walk all of these yucky emotions free and make it moving towards positive, towards what you want it to become. Okay, so now, how can I give up on that? I would be giving up on you, and I don't want to give up on you, right? I can never give up on that because I want to move through this. So motivation, find your meaning, find your movement, okay? Then get your time under control. Time management, poor time management is a procrastination issue. Why should you start something if you're already like, you know, I'm not going to finish it, so why would I start it? Get that under control. Distractions. Okay, get yourself a little fidget in case you need to get, you know, clear on what it is that you're needing to do. Focus on the present moment. The past, okay, that's where your depression is. If you're hanging out too much in the past, it's your depression. If you're hanging too much out in the future, it's anxiety. You need to learn how to be right here, right now. And if that's what it's going to take, have a little fidget. Have a little something. Figure out how to be in the present moment, right now, right here, and enjoy that. Make that enjoyable for you, okay? Low self-efficiency, doubting your own abilities, that's an easy one to overcome, okay? You don't need to feel like you don't know how to do anything. If you don't know how to do anything, you need to know who knows what I need to know, and then you get the skills from them. Then you sit down and cry ugly, snotty tears while you are writing down all the things that you feel like you're bad at. And then you start writing down all the things that you think you're good at. And then you're looking at the list. And then you're going to take a look at this bad list and say, I'm not good at that yet. Okay, but I'm going to learn it from this person. And this is what I'm great at. Okay, so when you get confidence about your skills, when you get clarity and confidence on your skills, you are also going to start moving because you're looking at that skill list and you're thinking, how can I put this into my business? How can I put this into my life? How can I show up in these areas stronger so that way, okay, that way you are going to help somebody. And when you help somebody and they're going to say thank you back, right? By the way, subscribe down here wherever you watch this and let me know you watched it and let me know your takeaway, okay? Because that is what builds my self-esteem as well, when I'm like, oh, I did help somebody. You know, so yes, give back, right? I give to you, give back. Energy always goes out, needs to come back. It's just what it is, okay? It's called the law of reciprocity. I can't even say the word. Reciprocity, you know what I mean. Okay, last but not least, I've got to go. My coaching starts. Lack of accountability. Yes, you need to have accountability. If you do not have accountability, you're not going to win. Okay, I fought this a long time and I was not sure why I was fighting accountability partners. I wasn't sure why I couldn't do it. And I'm going to let you in on a secret. And maybe that's you too. My lack of accountability and desire for accountability was that I actually was lazy. I didn't want anybody to call me out on what I wasn't doing because I wasn't ready to actually do it. I wasn't ready to acknowledge that I needed to step up my game. Okay. And if that is you too, all I'm going to tell you is you need to look at, why do you do what you do? Why do you want to do what you want to do? And is it worth it for you? Are you willing to pay the price? If you're willing to pay the price, you need to get accountability. And I'll tell you one thing, the reason why I will pick a coach and a mentor always over a friend or a teammate is because they are paid to help you win. See, my clients, if they win, I win. So I have a vested interest in making sure that they are succeeding, right? I mean, does your friend's probably going to want to make you feel good because they want to keep you as a friend. Think about this. They want to keep you as a friend. Well, I want to keep you as a client, but you're not going to pay me if you're not winning, right? So obviously I got to make sure you're going to win. That's just what it is. So therefore, I will always, to move my needle forward, have some kind of an accountability coach, someone who's going to be able to mentor me, somebody who's going to know more than I do, because it's just something that, you need to have in order to progress. So I hope this was helpful. Let me know in the comments. Don't forget to subscribe. I'll see you next week.